I'm back again with another video. I hope that everybody is doing well and staying safe. You guys, this live is not going to be too long, but I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit more about narcissistic bosses and narcissistic coworkers. As you guys know, I did actually come out with a new book called Employee to Entrepreneur: Tips on Surviving a Toxic Work Environment. And it's pretty much just my experience, what I went through dealing with toxic environments, dealing with toxic bosses, and also toxic coworkers. We are going to talk a little bit more about that. But before we do get into it, just so you know, I am a narcissist abuse coach. Me myself, I've been dealing with narcissists since 2000. What I've experienced, narcissistic bosses and coworkers, a lot of the times they don't like you, of course. A lot of the times they're jealous of you. A lot of the times they're envious. A lot of the times they feel like you have something that they don't, and they feel like they either want to take it or they feel like they want to steal it or whatever, or they want to use it or abuse it, or they want to antagonize, or they want to you know, just be malignant about it, right? So with the narcissistic coworkers and bosses, so they pretty much will, um, you know, team up together. They'll try to sabotage you, or they'll try to get you to quit, right? Like if you're working at a job, a lot of the times your coworkers, if they don't like you, or if let's say you have a narcissistic coworker and they don't like you, or maybe they feel threatened by you, or maybe they feel like you're in the way, or maybe they're trying to get you in trouble, then they will begin to do things to try to get you to react, right? They'll do something to you to quit, right? They want to do something like that to make you feel uncomfortable, to make you feel like you can't do your job, and so that you just leave and never come back, right? So I actually had that experience where a female did that to me, and she got a couple other people to pretty much antagonize me at work daily for almost about a year. And there was times in between where I had a break. I was to go away and have a quick break, and then I think that person went away for a while, but then they came back, and then they switched the people that she had following me around, like gang stalking me at the job. So that did occur, but yeah. So, and I'm assuming that the point of her doing that, she wanted me to leave. That was the whole point. She wanted me to quit the job that I was working at. And like I said, that individual ended up getting fired, which I was really happy about because, that was an annoyance to me, when I'm at work trying to focus on what I'm doing, and this person is staring at me, and I don't even know them. I don't talk to them. So it's just like, that's just weird. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I was really happy when I found out that person got fired. And and it was crazy because they said the reason why that person got fired was because they lied to the customer on the phone. So that's another thing, with a narcissist, they're liars. They will lie, cheat, steal, destroy, all of that stuff. So they're really, really evil people. And again, I'm not a judge or anything like that. I don't judge people, but I have dealt with many narcissists for many years to where I can be able to recognize one and see it for what it is. Now, if you're one of those type of people where you're like, hey, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, so you have to be really careful when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, you guys. So make sure that you guys give this video a like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow the video and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Has any of you guys bosses that I had around me? There was like the male boss that I had. There was but in the end, there the big boss, like two of the big boss ladies. They pretty much, I had kind of gotten into it with them, so that was a huge thing, So, and then what's crazy is like when I had mentioned what was going on, when I had mentioned that to them, nobody, pretty much no one believed me because the person that was doing all this stuff towards me, I guess that individual hadn't did that to nobody at the job until, I had came. So I was the first person that had that experience at the job. So the individual that was the narcissist has to have different types of characters and different personas, because it's going to be, a lot of times it might be difficult for a victim to be like overt, or even a malignant narc or an antagonist narcissist. Then they'll probably be sweet, kind, polite, courteous, respectful, try to pretend like they're wholesome and sweet. They'll play that role, right, until, I guess they have a narc injury or something happens or they get jealous. Something has to trigger them to, have that reaction like that. So yeah. But I hope that that made sense, you guys. But yeah, so when it comes to the bosses that I work for, they were trying to force me to quit, because let's be honest, you guys, and I'm not saying this is for all jobs, disclaimer, I'm not bashing jobs, I'm not bashing coworkers. I mean, again, a lot of you guys out there watching me, you probably have amazing coworkers, amazing bosses, amazing work environment, where it was just a cool environment for me. It was always something. It was always some sort of drama, always some sort of chaos. But like I said, in 2020, what really kind of kicked it off, like I've always had bosses that were kind of like weird or whatever, but 2020, most recent job that I was working at, I was there for about 2 years. And yeah, I never went through that at any job that I ever worked at. I never had people gang stalking me, people harassing me, people following me in the bathroom, people just really hateful that don't even know me. Like, I've never experienced that in my whole life, so it was a new experience. But like I said, luckily I did have the experience of living with the narcissist and being in a connection with a male narcissist, so I was able to kind of navigate that. I knew how to move, and I knew how to behave, because again, the narcissist wants to get you in trouble. Like I said, the narcissistic coworkers, they do want you to quit. They want you to quit your job because, you won't be a threat to them anymore, right? They want you to go away. They don't want you to come back on. They don't want you to make videos. They don't want you to talk about what they're doing behind the scenes and stuff like that, because they don't want to be exposed. The narcissist loves to do evil, And my thing is I don't want the narcissist to stop doing evil, because remember, you can't control a narcissist. You can only control yourself. The people that watch, because I know that there are narcissists watching, and I know that female narcissist is watching me, the coworker, but who cares? I'm here to help them. So yeah. So anyways, love breeds sacrifice, which, okay, so Tendo Pain, I like that. Make sure y'all subscribe too. Pain is the only way to teach. Pain is the city solution to peace. If you want to know pain, you need to understand pain, for sure. It says everyone feels the same pain when losing someone dear. You and I both experienced that pain. You strive for okay, there we go. We back. So yeah, I like that, Tendo. And anybody else in the room, has anyone else experienced narcissistic abuse? It sounds like, Tendo, you experienced pain. If you don't mind sharing with the family, can you share with us, like, have you dealt with narcissists? What type of pain have you experienced, if you don't mind us asking? Please feel free to share. Sorry about that, you guys. I see it going in and out, so please bear with me. You guys know I have a lot of stuff up there. I still have the sugar scrub going on. Like I said, I just released my new book, so make sure that you do get your copy of all of my books. Anything, if you want to learn about, having a relationship with God. And this is the other thing, and I'm going to go back to the topic. But what I love about God, y'all, like, and probably would have went off. Like, I'm being serious. Like, the type of like pain that I went through, like it felt like, and I feel like the person probably would have went off on that person, which I think that female narcissist, that's what she wanted me to do, but she probably didn't know that I already had the experience of dealing with narcissism. But I guess that was her aim, right? She wanted me to go off. Probably she was gonna try to like get the authorities involved. I think that was her aim, right? But yeah, I just stayed quiet the whole time. I never said nothing, but I knew what was going on. I knew it, but I was just like, okay, as long as you don't touch me, then there's, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yeah, and I remember one time she got real close to me and I looked at her right in her face and I'm looking like, okay, like do something. What's up? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you ain't finna touch me, you know? So, but yeah, you do have a lot of that going on. But yes. And so, and so going back to, okay, to know, you said everyone feels the same pain when losing someone dear. You, okay, I already read that. Yeah, so dealing with grief is tough. You know, even when you deal with narcissistic abuse, that's grief because maybe you thought you loved someone you thought was a loved one, or maybe you that was a loved one and you lost them, or maybe you feel shattered, or you felt like there were dreams that didn't come to fruition. It's understandable. You do have to grieve. You will have to deal with pain. Make sure you get your pain will make you successful. You can read that. You know, that can definitely help you and guide you along the way. Because the unfortunate part about life is you do have happiness, right? You have a different amounts of emotions that you experience: pain, joy, happiness, sadness, regret, remorse, shame. Some people experience jealousy, some people experience envy, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the female coworker at my job, I believe she was jealous for sure. And it's just sad that, you know, people will do you don't know the depth of what people will do. Like, if you have someone that's jealous around you, you have to be careful because that person can try to kill you. Like, I'm being serious. Like, you don't know what goes on in a person's mind, and this lightly. Okay, we back. I want you guys to really pay attention to this stuff because it can really make or break you. Seriously, betray you, they're gonna do it again. They're gonna do it again. And I know a lot of us, we wanna give people the benefit of the doubt. We wanna be like, oh, you know, of narcissistic abuse. I'm here to help them. That's all I care about, you know? Because when it comes to narcissists, so I care about the people that want to be helped and healed. If you don't want to be helped and healed, that's fine. You can still watch the video. Maybe I don't know what it does to you or for you, but and I know too that that narcissist would watch my videos to see if the magic was working or to see like whatever they was doing is working. It's like, no, it's not going to work. It's never going to work. So I don't know. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they need to find another job. I don't know, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, so but yeah, so I found out from another one of the boss ladies that that person got fired, and I was super happy. And then after that, that female narcissist got fired, she had this other girl, like I said, was following me around. I guess she would like tell her like what I was doing, like when I was at that work environment. She was like, it was like really stupid petty stuff. But it's like I said, you don't know if someone's jealous of you, or they want to be you, or they're envious, or they feel like you got something that they don't have, or whatever the case may be. Like, you don't know what they're capable of doing, you know. So that's why I said you guys have to take this stuff very seriously. Like, this is not a joke. It's not a game. Don't play with narcissists, and you know, it's really serious, you know. And they'll definitely play mind games with you. They'll try to bully you. They'll try, like I said, get a gang of people to follow you around, to make you feel afraid, to force you to quit, to force you to just be standing at the door. Like, what is that going to do? That's you're not putting your hands on me, so who cares? But like I said, I guess maybe she did that to somebody else before. I don't know, but that doesn't move me, so I don't know. But yeah, and it's crazy because that went on. And like I said, I had told the big boss ladies, they dismissed it. They dismissed it like it meant nothing. And I was very disappointed in the big people. I was just like, wow. And oh, and so here's the other thing. So when it came to, all right, sometimes your bosses will try to force you to quit. A lot of, and the environment that I was working at, it was a lot of toxicity. There was a lot of jealousy. There was a lot of envy. Like Mean Girl, like high school, basically. It's like high school. And I'm like, I graduated high school years ago. I'm not going back to high school. You get what I'm saying? It's like, no. But yeah, and so I don't know, at times it's like they were lying to the customers, and my thing is like, I don't want to lie to people because I don't want people to lie to me. You get what I'm saying? I do believe, I want to say this, I don't want to do this, like, you get what I'm saying? And I don't know, I noticed a lot of like favoritism, and I noticed like how they promoted people that were like pretty like immature, and just really not should not be like in that leadership type of role. And it's just like, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong spot, let me head out. Like, you get what I'm saying? And like I actually had one, because I got into it with one of my TMs at the time, and we had a conversation with one of the other big boss ladies, and she was saying that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, which was cap. That wasn't true. And I had to, kind of like stand up for myself and say like, hey, this is what's going on. And so the TM, she goes out, because I'm sitting here at this point, I'm like, hey, I'm uncomfortable, right? And so the boss lady tells her to go out of the room, and so I'm just talking with the big lady. And I'm telling her like this is not working for me. Like, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, she was like, oh, well, maybe it's not for you. Maybe if I switch my TMs, then it might be a little different. But the way that the mentality that they had, it's like, oh, cutthroat, you got to lie. You got to be deceptive to get it. And it's just like, no, you don't. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, and that I think that was too, maybe you can't be controlled. Like, a lot of those bosses, they like to know that they can control you, especially if they're trying to force you to like fake, like, oh, I'm going to give you a promotion. And then they try to sabotage it and stuff like that. Or I had that, like, it was crazy. And I think I told you guys this story. And it's, sorry about the spoiler alert, because this is in my book, but it's a good read. I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy it, because it's a real true story. Actually fired him. He got into it with one of the boss ladies, and I will never forget this, you guys. Like, it was one of the days, job is, they call it the bubble, and out of nowhere, he's like, he does this, he raises his voice really loud, you guys. And mind you, at this call center, a lot of call centers, they have music playing, you got your headset on, you on the computer, doing your thing and stuff like that. And when I tell you, when the music was loud and I could still hear him yelling at the boss lady, I was like, oh, Lord. Like, that's when I knew. I was like, that's it. Something ain't right. Like, you get what I'm saying? And at that point, things were different. Things had changed. But long story short, he asked me, he's like, Joy, we need you to do this position. They was like, oh, we've been listening to your calls. We want you to help out with training, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you guys, I didn't ask. I didn't say, oh, like, I want to do this, I want to do that. I didn't mention it. But he was saying like, oh, I want you to do this. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm doing what they're asking me. And on top of that, I have to do my work. So they're giving me double work, more of a workload, and they're expecting me to meet these expectations. So a lot of times, some jobs will do that too. Maybe they could be trying to sabotage you. They may want to overwork you so you can get frustrated and just quit, right? To get you to leave. And you might complain and they might dismiss it. And so eventually you'll just quit, and then they'll just hire somebody else because they don't care. You get what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, you do have a lot of that going on. But what happened was, that same day when I was actually doing the work, they was asking me, because they're like, oh, we want you to do this training. We want you to be in this position. The other boss lady had said she got this call that I had, and it was supposed to be a bad call. It was supposed to have been a violation, like, oh, we're going to have to pull the plug because the numbers are da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, I don't care. Pull the plug. I didn't care about doing that anyway. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, again, a lot of times they'll have that stuff going on because they want you to quit. Maybe you're different from everybody at the job. Maybe you don't behave like them. Maybe you just go in, you clock in, you do your work, and you go. Like, you ain't trying to do that extra stuff. Like, a lot of the times jobs don't like that. And especially also if you're quiet, maybe you're alone a lot. Because that's how I be at work a lot of the time. It's like, if I don't have something to say or to conversate about, I'm not going to talk, because I don't want to. That's just me. I know everybody's not like that. I know some people don't like it when it's quiet. Some people just talk. That's their personality. I'm not judging. it is what it is. But that was me. Like, sometimes I like to sit in a row by myself. Sometimes I don't want to say nothing. Sometimes I just want to focus on my job, and that's it. Like, you get what I'm saying? And sometimes they will use that against you, and they'll be like, oh, well, they're alone a lot, or oh, they like to sit in a row by themselves, and da 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 da. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I think that female narcissist probably paid attention to that too. She was like, oh, and she also tried to like do stuff to like catch me off guard, I guess. To try to, like, I guess when I wasn't looking or when I wasn't thinking about it. I think she was trying to scare me. I don't know why she felt that I was scared. Maybe she thought that she was scary because she's like big and fat. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I guess some people use their weight as, I don't know, but I'm pretty tall too. I'm slim, but I'm not fat. But I don't, like I said, I think she's done that to other people before. I don't know, but who knows? But yeah. So, but yeah, she would like do stuff to try to like catch me off guard or whatever, or to try to whoo, like no. So anyways, but I hope that makes sense though, you guys. I just thought I'd share that, and make sure you guys give this video a like. And but yeah, and so I'm saying all this to say, if you are dealing with narcissistic bosses, narcissistic coworkers that could be trying to team up to scare you, or team up to bully you, or team up to make you feel afraid, or team up to force you to quit, team up to force you to or try to get you fired. Oh, and that's the other aspect before I get into what you can do. Like I said, so this person that we would be working on one side of the call center, and the other, she would sit on the row on the other side. But she would, for one, she would be talking really loud, and then, like I said, she would get up and walk on the other side and try to stay real close to me. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, we're not friends, we don't talk, so why are you so close to me? Like, you get what I'm saying? And like I said, I know she was watching my videos, because I guess whatever I would say, she would like try to do that. And I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, some people are just really weird, like really weird. But yeah, and then she would talk about it like all the time. And I know like some narcissists, they do that because maybe it makes them feel good. I think it probably made her feel good, because she probably felt so bad about, what she was trying to do. It didn't work. And like I said, the depth, and some people are so desperate, whether it's for like attention or who knows, clout, I don't know. And I guess maybe she wanted me to say her name. I'm not going to say her name ever. So, I never mention names on any of my videos. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, I just say this stuff because it's here to help you guys, in case if you deal with anything like this in a work environment, you can know how to handle it. Because trust me, it could happen to you. I'm just saying, you don't know until it happens, right? But anyway, like I said, if you are in a situation and you're dealing with something like this, the biggest thing I could say is to write down evidence. That was one of the things that I didn't do. I could say I didn't like write down every time that she would be like be sitting in the same chair, like in the break room, like, because every time I would take a break, she would take a break. So I could have like made notes of that and like, a report. But I did make note of that time when I was like, hey, if you come close to me again, I'm gonna put a restraining order on you. And then that's when she backed away. I was like, yeah, I know she's listening. So I was like, okay. But she didn't go that far, because yeah. But anyway, so so if you do need to do anything, I would say make note of it, write it down, stuff like that. Even record if you need to, like record the narcissist or whatever. Especially like if they're yapping at you. But like I said, I didn't know that person, so we never even had a conversation. But I knew what was going on, especially like if you're intuitive, you may not like hear stuff, but even when people talk about you or they got bad intentions, you could feel it. And to me, I thought that was the scariest thing. I'm like, bruh, like, you're not even really around that person, and you like, but you know, or you feel that they're like they have bad intentions or they have evil intentions. I was like, bruh, like that's crazy. And I still have that now, and it still scares me sometimes. I'm like, God, like what in the world? Because God will tell me, He'll tell me like if that person is bad or they've been talking mess or they're jealous, they envy. God will tell me, or God will show me, or I feel it, or I have a dream. I'm like, ooh, God, that's crazy. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, that's why I said it's really important to get close to God. But yeah, so, make your notes, document, right? Documentation. And if you need to get the authorities involved, I highly recommend it. Like I said, people mentioned to me that, that I should have did something like that. But I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to let God handle it. And I'm going to talk to you about that real quick. Situation where, a person, I don't know, boy, like they just was just being weird. And I just found out something that happened to them today. And I'm like, see, and I wasn't rejoicing in that, but it's like when you mess with people that don't bother you, then you got to be careful. I'm telling y'all, like karma is no joke. I'm telling y'all, like that is serious. That's serious business for real. Like when you mess with God's like children, you messed up. You messed up bad. And a lot of times people end up cursed when they mess with God's children. Like you got to be really careful who you mess with, because if you mess with the wrong person, then that's it. Like it's no games, it's no joking. Like it ain't funny, like for real. But yeah, so and then like seek support. If you're in this situation, try to find a better job, because I know a lot of folks are like, hey, I can't leave, I gotta stay, I got responsibilities. Well, I get it. So maybe you might have to distance yourself from certain coworkers or certain bosses, and just ignore it, like how I did. Like for me, what helped me in that situation, I just ignored it. I just pretended like it wasn't happening, because I knew it was going on, but like you don't want to give the narcissist that satisfaction. Like you don't want to react, you don't want to get crazy, because that's what they wanted. Like, you get what I'm saying? I knew what was going on, but I just didn't say anything. Sometimes you just have to play dumb. Unfortunately, that's how it is. That's the only sometimes how you can survive in those type of environments, is you have to play like you don't know what's going on, like you stupid. Like how the narcissist plays dumb, they play delusional. So you got to do the same thing, so that's just what it is. And good morning, you know, and just keep going. And I prayed every day going in there, and because that person was doing magic, you know what I used to say? I'm like, whatever that person is sending to me, I was like, send it back to them tenfold. Because I knew that they was doing magic. I knew it. And I know that they was doing magic on a friend of mine's as well. So yep, that's what I said. I was like, God, whatever they send it to me, send it back to them tenfold. That's what I said. It's true, y'all. Like, you don't know the depth, bro. Like, there's so many types of craziness. And that's why I said it really messes up people that try to do good, especially with that type of spirituality stuff. Like, you guys see me doing readings, but I don't do magic. For what? Like, what am I going to do that for? Like, it's no point. But you have a lot of people that do stuff like that for evil purposes. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of messes it up for the people that are actually trying to do good. You get me? So, but anyway, you guys, I'm trying to think of anything else if you're in that situation. I'm in a toxic environment. And we're going to talk about some other topics too, because I know some other things came up. So there's different things. I know we talked. There were some things that I was thinking about as far as like dealing with anxiety, depression, even dealing with domestic violence. You know how some narcissists can get violent? That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Make sure that you guys do give this video a like, share. Sorry about that. A like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in next video. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.